And now the next case.
Parties on Licht versus Water. Step forward, please.
42-year-old Reverend Howard Licht is suing his former fiancée, 39-year-old Stephanie Warder, for not returning the engagement ring after they called off their wedding. Stephanie says she was embarrassed by his change of heart.
Simple case. You are Reverend Licht?
Yes, ma'am.
And Miss Warder, according to these papers, you became engaged to each other.
That's correct.
You purchased an engagement ring for the defendant. You changed your mind.
Yes, ma'am.
Called off the wedding. Want the ring back.
Yes.
That's pretty simple. How long were you engaged before you changed your mind, sir?
A couple of months, Your Honor.
Why don't you think 4 months? All right, Miss Warden. Water. Is that the way you pronounce it, Water? Why don't you tell me why you think he is not entitled to his ring back?
Well, after he proposed to me and I said yes, I started planning for the wedding. I bought a wedding dress, hired a wedding coordinator, worked on getting the tuxes and the bridal dresses. I had my whole church involved in planning this wedding. And then he calls it off, but doesn't really call it off. He says, well, why don't we just postpone the wedding? It's okay, we can do that. But then he never would talk to me, with no communications whatsoever. Every time I tried to talk to him, he would be abrupt with me, short, had something else to do. And I thought we were trying to work this out.
Did you know why he had called off the wedding or why he wanted to postpone it?
He said that he didn't like the way I talked to waiters and waitresses.
Is that the reason you gave her?
That was among other things, yes. At one point, we had a discussion about her having her hair done, and I was curious. She had told me that she had a speaking relationship with her stylist, and I said, well, what did your stylist think about the hairstyle you wanted? And she told me in no uncertain terms that her stylist had nothing to do with her decision. She was capable of making decisions on her own. It took me aback. I work with a lot of people. I listen to a lot of professional opinions, and while I may not always follow those opinions, when I make my decision, they are informed. I just began to think about what's the marriage going to be like if she makes all the decisions without any input.
I did have input from people, but the final decision is mine when it deals with my hair or something that deals with me, my car, my house, or whatever, because I am the one that has to live with those decisions.
Have you been married before?
No, I have never been married before.
But you have, sir?
Yes.
Never
According
been
to
engaged.
these papers, a couple of times.
Yes, ma'am.
And engaged a few more times.
Yes, ma'am.
How many times?
I was going to ask, but as long as you did.
Well, there have been a number of engagements.
Altogether, how many times?
I would say probably 7 or 8 different times.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
He would get me upset about this or wanting to talk. And then, of course, it was time to go to bed because he had to get up and preach the next morning.
Real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 39-year-old Stephanie Warder says when her fiancé, 42-year-old Reverend Howard Licht, broke off their engagement, she had already spent hundreds of dollars planning the wedding. So she kept the engagement ring to help make up for the loss.
Miss Warder, how much did you actually spend on planning the wedding? Your dress, things that you could not return.
I spent probably with the dress and the plane tickets to fly down to visit him, around $1,000.
I'm not talking about the plane tickets to fly down to visit him. I'm talking about you paid for your dress.
Right.
Were you able to get the money back?
No.
And how much was the dress?
$640.
And did you give any money to your wedding coordinator?
No, because she was a friend of mine and she decided not to.
That's not a big deal.
I've never been married before. I've never been engaged before either. This was the time that I was going to do it. I was 39 years old when he proposed to me. I didn't think I should have any problem about taking the wedding dress back because this was going to be it.
When you accepted this ring, did you know that he had been married twice before?
Yes, I did.
When you accepted the ring, did you know that he had been engaged 8 times before?
But I also decided that I should not hold his past against him.
Well, I'm not suggesting that you hold his past against him, but when somebody has an argument with you because they don't like the way you talk to your hairdresser, I would suggest to you that there's a problem.
That was after the engagement, not before.
You mean after you were engaged already?
Right.
You're probably lucky. Where's the ring?
I don't have the ring.
Where is it?
It's at home in a safe place. I'm keeping the ring because he gave it to me. It's very important. It meant a whole lot to me.
What do you plan on doing with it, Miss Water?
Wearing it on my right hand. It's a nice dinner ring.
Good. How much did you pay for the ring, sir?
$2,200.
You paid $2,200? Let me see the receipt. Now, Miss Water, I'm not going to send a posse to your house to get the ring. It's up to you. But if, you know...
I'm not going to give this ring back.
Well, then you're going to have to pay for it, madam. Listen to me.
So
let me explain why to you, because I think that that's fair. There's a difference between a broken engagement and breaking up a marriage. This guy clearly has some problems.
Mm-hmm. If
he makes a big megillah over your hairstylist, that's not somebody that I, after waiting 39 years, would want to hang my hopes on for a happy future. So you're probably very lucky that it ended when it did after 4 months. The fact that it was an embarrassment to you, I can understand. But an engagement ring is given as a promise, as sort of a contract in anticipation of getting married.
I did not break that contract.
I understand that. It doesn't make any difference. In my view, it doesn't make any difference because whoever breaks the contract, both parties are usually better off. I mean, are you suggesting to me that you would have wanted to have married this man, gone through with the ceremony, and found out what you know about him now 3 or 4 or 5 weeks after you got married, or 5 months after you got married, or perhaps after you had children together? Come on, be smart. You're getting away cheap. So, in my view, irrespective of whose fault it is, of who's willing to stand up and say...
Why should he get back everything when I am the one who's the loser here?
Just a second. I'm going to see to it that you get back the money for your dress. That's going to be deducted from the cost of the ring. Absolutely. Now, if you're prepared to give him back the ring, I'm prepared to enter a judgment against him for the cost of the dress. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Because I don't think that because he changed his mind, you should find yourself in a position of being out financially. Doesn't that sound fair?
Yeah, the humiliation that goes along with it, too.
Well, but you know, you have to balance the humiliation, Miss Water.
Yeah, my whole church knew.
I know.
His church did not know. Even my mailman knew that I was getting married. This was very important to me.
I understand. Would you have preferred to have married him? And then been wife number 3?
At this moment, no.
There you go. So that's the answer.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment.
Your Honor, will that be a monetary judgment for the balance?
Well, unless I can convince Miss Water that she ought to give up this ring because it's going to be a constant reminder of this very bad period of time.
It is not a reminder of bad times for me. It's a reminder of all the good times for me.
Okay.
I am not giving it back.
Very good. I am deducting the $640 for her wedding dress, sir, $1,560 for the plaintiff. Consider yourself lucky, Miss Water. That's all.
Parties are excused. You may step out.
Judge Judy will continue in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
Number 251 on the calendar in the matter of Hipsher versus Lemos. Parties have been sworn in. Judge, you may be seated. Have a seat, ma'am. Gentlemen, have a seat.
This is a really interesting case. Miss Hipsher, this is your dog, Buddy.
That's my dog, Buddy.
Don't cry yet, okay? Because you have to tell me what happened.
I know.
So take a deep breath. You want some water?
Yeah, I'll take some. Thank you.
According to these papers, you and the defendant lived together with your two children. I assume that these are your two kids.
Yes.
The relationship was going south. You, Mr. Lemos, wanted her out of your house with the two children.
Correct.
And she was living there with the kids and Buddy.
Exactly.
According to your papers, you started eviction proceedings against her, correct?
Yes.
I'm not going to get into why. And sort of at the tail end of these eviction proceedings, it was about 4 months into trying to get her out of the house. According to your answer, you went over to the house and took her dog, right?
Correct.
You say you have a good reason for going over and taking the dog, but you took her dog. She didn't know where the dog was for how long?
2.5 years.
And you had seen him during those 2.5 years.
I have telephone records otherwise and stuff to prove that him and I were in communication over the telephone, visiting each other at each other's homes, the whole 9 yards.
Had you discussed Buddy?
Yes, a lot.
When you came home and found Buddy missing, what did you do?
I immediately called John at his mom's house and stuff, and at which time he told me that he had no idea where my dog was. He had no inclination of, he says, Irene, I'm sorry, but no, I didn't have anything to do with it. I feel really bad. Made it sound like really personal and stuff. So I went, other than to the Contra Costa County Animal Control, and I set up, that's when I started setting up the missing reports or otherwise and stuff. I searched the premises, went around the blocks, went around all streets, even made up signs. But that's my family member. That's
Okay. How long had you had Buddy at that time?
I had Buddy for 7 years before John took him.
Okay. Now, how did you ultimately find out that Mr. Lemos had your dog?
My son Joshua was playing with his new girlfriend's son. I have no idea what his name was, but he had mentioned, Joshua asked his son, how many dogs does John have? And the boy came back with 2. Well, John automatically saw that the conversation was happening, pulled away the child from my son and stuff and told him, no, you gotta, whatever, took him back, and then when the two confronted again, the 2 children, the boy says, oh no, I made a mistake. John only has 1 dog, he has Zeus.
So then your son came home and told this to you?
Exactly. Exactly.
Okay.
And this was at his house, place of residence. I was visiting the neighborhood.
Okay, at his house, but not his mother's house?
No.
Which is where the dog finally ended up?
Yes.
You're his mother, correct?
Yes.
So tell me how you confronted him, ultimately.
I went to his house and stuff, and neither one of these 2 people were home, and whenever I looked over the fence, that's when I saw Buddy.
So you went to his mother's house?
Yeah, and that's whenever I found out that's whenever see, at first and stuff, I didn't let John know that what was being said between the kids or that I even questioned it, because if I did, he would have just ultimately ran with my dog. So I took it upon myself and stuff without even questioning him or without saying anything to him. I showed up at his mom's house knowing that she was at work and he was at work, showed up and just peered over the fence.
So then after you found out that they had your dog, what did you do?
I went to the San Leandro Police Department and filed a case against him and stuff, which I have copies of or otherwise. It's 9711035. Okay.
Did you call them and say,
yes,
I want my dog back?
Later on that
Who
day.
did you speak to?
I spoke to John at first. I could just hear her in the background saying how she's going to kill my dog before she gives him back to me. She's going to put my dog down. I could hear her screaming in the background, yes, John. And then all of a sudden and stuff, he's telling me and stuff. At first, it was a good conversation. It was like, oh, no, how you doing? Oh, yeah. And then all of a sudden, I asked him, I says, John, I says, I heard you have my dog. You know, he says, Irene, I don't have your dog. I haven't seen him. I says, John, I was there. Ask your mom if I went by, because I went by her place of employment. She was standing outside, and I went by in a nice little cute little red car and stuff, and honked my horn, and she's all, not knowing who the hell I was, because I'm sure she would have given me the #1 finger first. But she waving at me and everything and stuff. I called it up.
All right, Mr. Lemos. You took her dog, right?
Yes.
I'll hear your story.
Okay, the reason why I did take the dog was like the last 3 to 4 weeks before she finally got out of my house. She wasn't hardly even around at that time. All of her belongings were still there, but there was numerous times that I would go to my house, check on my house. We couldn't live together, of course, so I was staying at my mother's house. There was numerous times that I'd go out there and I would see that the dog had no food or water. And there was a couple of times that I had went out to my house, spent the night out there, and she never was there. I don't know where she was. I had no way of contacting her because I didn't know where she was, going from point A to point B. And so I had felt that the dog was being neglected because when I would go there, he wouldn't have any food or water. And I felt compassion for the dog, and I thought that I could give him a better home, which she could provide, because the last 4 weeks, It seemed to me like she could have cared less about the dog, or even trying to get out of my house, for that matter.
Mr. Lemos, I read your answer, sir. You know, judges are supposed to be able to relate to situations with a certain amount of common sense. Let me suggest to you what my common sense made from your answer. Let's pick a month. Let's say in December you decided to separate. She's living in your house with her 2 children. She says, I'm not moving now. You go down to municipal court, housing court, and file papers to have her evicted. She gets an extension of time. Is that what happened?
That's exactly what I did.
Because the judge looks at her 2 children, and says, I'm not going to put her out on the street tomorrow, even though it's his house. These people lived together for 2 years. She needs a little time to relocate. Meanwhile, you're getting more and more annoyed. So a month goes by, and 2 months go by, and you're getting hotter and hotter. And 3 months go by, and finally in month 4, you decide that the family pet is being neglected. So I'm going to take the family pet. Maybe next time, if you don't move, one of your children will be missing.
Judge Judy continues in a moment.
When John first took him, I was crying because he was my pal.
And later today,
I hope that in the future
you have also
you
had
make your
problems,
dream come
so-
true and you really become Carlotta.
This was not my dream.
real cases, real people. Judge Judy. 32-year-old Irene Hipsher is suing her former fiancé, John Lemos, for stealing her pet dog, Buddy, and keeping him for over 2 years. John says he only took Buddy because Irene was neglecting the dog.
Now, maybe your compassion for the dog was mixed with a little animus towards the plaintiff, but you have no right to take her animal. And then for 2.5 years, you lied to her. If you thought there was a legitimate question of animal neglect, you have the right to call authorities and say, this animal is being neglected. You didn't do that. How come?
Well, at that particular time, before that period, she was still around with the dog. Up to the last of 3 to 4 weeks, I didn't see her that much anymore.
So if you didn't see her that much anymore,
I mean, as far
the
as her
few
being-
times that you went by the house, sir, and the dog was there, why didn't you call animal control and say, look at this dog. It's all skin and bones. It hasn't been fed. It hasn't been watered. It's being neglected. Then they would have taken the dog. And in all probability, if you were a person who was responsible, you might have gotten her dog. But the dog wasn't skin and bones, right, sir?
No, he wasn't.
No. So the question is, now what do we do with Buddy? The dog is her dog. Yes. The dog belongs to her. He brought the dog to you? Madam.
Yes.
Why don't you step up here? You're his mother.
Yes.
When he brought the dog to you, what did he say?
Just about what he told you, that he felt that the dog wasn't being treated right because there wasn't any food or water. And so he said that he felt that we could take care of the dog better, and he hadn't seen Irene. He didn't know where she was, so...
And you didn't question it?
No, I didn't.
Did you tell her you took the dog?
No.
So you've become attached to the dog, too?
Absolutely.
But the dog is hers.
I agree.
So it has to go back to her. Yes. Period. That's the end of discussion.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You know how she said it was being treated well? Her backyard was way worse than what we have now. They have apples all over the ground, not even grass.
I don't even have an apple tree anymore.
Tell me your name.
Jason.
Jason.
Pimentel.
Do you think this dog knows who you are?
Yeah.
Let me see. Let the dog go.
Come on, buddy. Come here, buddy. Come here. Yes. Oh, yes. No, that's okay, boy. That's okay, boy. It's okay. That's okay. That's okay.
Don't hit him too hard, Jason.
Oh, yeah. That's okay, Bobby's. That's okay, Bobby dog. Yes, it is.
Now, the question is, Mr. Lemos,
Stay.
you did the absolute wrong thing, and I think that you traumatized not only the plaintiff, she's an adult,
Dog.
but these two little kids.
They weren't even there.
That's all right. The dog's going to have to get used to, let the dog go. The dog's going to have to get used to your family all over again. But you traumatized two little children who were really innocents, and you traumatized them because you were annoyed that their mother wasn't moving out of your house fast enough.
Buddy.
True.
Buddy.
So,
The kids weren't there the whole time.
for want of a better word, sir,
Buddy.
you have to be punished.
Buddy, come.
So I'm going to punish you to the tune of $2,500. That's all.
Parties are excused. Step out, please. Out the back door to your right.
Basically, instead, it all boils down to he's a mommy's boy. He has a brand new house. He's been living with mommy for the past 2.5 years.
No, I
Him and I've
haven't.
been broke up. Yes, you
No,
have.
I'm back at my house.
And now the next case.
Parties on Innocente versus Sierra Olivia. Step forward, please.
Actress Celeste Innocenti is suing playwright Jesus Sierra Oliva. She claims after he promised her the lead role in a play he was producing, the role was given to an
दोस्तों ये चने हैं, यहाँ आप देख सकते हो, ये चने हैं, ऐसे चने देख सकते हो आप, ऐसे पक चुके हैं। इस तरह के चने होते हैं खेत में, आप सभी लोग देख सकते हो। ये चने हैं, पूरे खेत में चने हैं। देखो ये सभी पूरे खेत में चने हैं। यहाँ पर पानी चालू है, पानी, व्हाट इज दिस पानी, व्हाट इज दिस पानी, देख सकते हो। ये देखो मैं आपको दिखा रहा हूँ, ये देखो, देख लो गाइस, ये देखो कितने बड़े बड़े चने हैं। अभी इसको हम निकालेंगे, अभी इसको हम निकालेंगे इस तरह से। ये आप देख सकते हो, कुछ इस तरह से होते हैं चने। देखो चने ऐसे होते हैं, इसको ऐसे, इसमें कोई भी अगर रोग भी नहीं दिखता तो यहाँ पर दिख जाता है। देखो, देख लो, पूरा का पूरा आप देख सकते हो, इस तरह से कुछ होता है। देखो यहाँ पर पानी चालू, देखो यहाँ से पूरी लाइन, यहाँ से पानी आता है इस तरफ। देखो इसमें अगर चलना हो तो ऐसे चलना पड़ता है। देखो ये बड़े बड़े सोल्जर्स ऐसे पहनने पड़ते हैं, नहीं तो ये चना चना पूरा पैर खराब कर देता है, मतलब कि पूरा पैर खराब कर देता है। इससे कहते हैं फावड़ा। इससे नाका चलेगा, देख सकते हो आप, इसे नाका चलेगा। इसे इस तरह से यहाँ से पानी आता है, देखो ये उधर तक पानी जाता है, देख सकते हो आप। यहाँ पर पूरा सिस्टम है खेती बाड़ी का। देखो आप, पूरा सिस्टम है खेती बाड़ी का। यहाँ से ऐसे चल के जाना पड़ेगा। अभी ये पानी जो इधर जा रहा है, इधर मतलब कि ये पानी पूरा इधर जा रहा है, तो इसके पीछे पीछे हम चले जाएंगे, ठीक है। इसके पीछे पीछे पानी के चले जाएंगे, इस तरह से कुछ ऐसे पानी के पीछे पीछे चलेंगे। ये हम आपको दिखाते, इस तरह से पानी के पीछे पीछे चलेंगे, पूरा पानी के पीछे पीछे चलेंगे, मतलब कि कुछ इंटरेक्शन होना चाहिए। देखो यहाँ पर अभी खाली है। अगर आपको चने में चलना है तो इस तरह से सोल्जर ऐसे ऐसे पहनने पड़ेंगे। नहीं, ये जो ये यहाँ पर, अगर यहाँ पर अड़ेगा, यहाँ पर अड़ेगा तो ये पैर पूरे चल सकते हैं। तो इस तरह से यहाँ से चलना पड़ेगा। अभी पानी देखो इधर ही यहाँ पर पहुँचा है, आप सभी लोग देख सकते हो, पानी इधर पहुँचा है। देखो ये पानी यहाँ से, अभी यहाँ से पूरा इधर इस तरह से उधर जाएगा, उधर पानी जाएगा और उस कैरे में जाएगा, उसमें। देखो ब्लर, मेरे हाथ में ब्लर हो रहा है। देखो इस तरह से पानी जाएगा। कैमरा भी क्वालिटी अच्छी लग रही है मुझे। यहाँ पर देख सकते हो आप सभी लोग, यहाँ पर सभी जगह चने ही चने हैं, आप सभी लोग देख सकते हो। ये देखो ये चना अभी पक चुका है, आप देख सकते हो, ये चना पक चुका है। अभी इसको हम निकालेंगे। देखो इसको हम निकाल के आपको बताते हैं, ठीक है। ये देखो, ये चना है, इसको इस तरह से निकालेंगे। देखो आप बस देखते जाओ, इस तरह से इस चने को निकालेंगे। ऐसे चने को निकाल देंगे। बाद में इस चने को भी ऐसे निकालेंगे, ठीक है। कुछ इस तरह से होता है। ये इस चने में और इस चने में फ़र्क होता है, ये आप सभी लोग देख सकते हो। ये ज़्यादा पीला होता है, ये ज़्यादा पीला होता है, इस तरह से कुछ पीला होता है। और जो बाकी यहाँ पर होता है ना, जो ये वाला, ये चना आप देख सकते हो, ये अभी थोड़ा कच्चा है, ये पक गया है और ये कच्चा है। तो कुछ इस तरह से चने की खेती होती है हमारे यहाँ, आप देख सकते हो। ये सभी चना है। अभी यहाँ पर ये जो फ्लावरिंग लगी हुई है ना, आप देख सकते हो, ये फ्लावरिंग है। अभी इस फ्लावरिंग बहुत ज़्यादा लगी हुई, तो इसमें अभी भी बहुत ज़्यादा चने आने वाले हैं। इस फ्लावरिंग की आपको समझ में आ जाएगा, फ्लावरिंग लगी, इसमें चने आने वाले। पानी यहाँ पर पहुँचा हुआ है, आप सभी लोग देख सकते हो। पानी यहाँ पर पहुँचा हुआ है, देखो ये पानी यहाँ पर पहुँचा है, ठीक है। तो इस तरह से कुछ खेती बाड़ी में ये सब कुछ सिस्टम यहाँ पर होता है। आप सभी लोग जान चुके होंगे। बताओ क्या बढ़िया। ये देखो, यहाँ पानी आ रहा है, यहाँ से इधर जाएगा, उधर से पूरा बिल्कुल यहाँ तक ही पानी आगे चलेगा, ठीक है। अगर आपको हमारा व्लॉग पसंद आया तो लाइक शेयर एंड सब्सक्राइब जरूर करें। बाय बाय, टाटा, गुड नाइट, चुप।